Shalom, it's me, Sun and Skye, and we're playing Shovel Knight for the Wii U. I love this game, and I love this song, so you gotta listen to it. It's amazing. I could just jam to that song all night long. But some of you might be wondering, on the bottom of the screen there, it just said it came out in 2014. Why does it look so old and blocky and 8-bit? Well, this game was inspired by the 8-bit generation, actually. The whole thing that this game has going for it is that it's a throwback to the 8-bit generation back when it was just platformers and action and fun and jumping around. And I made my file Studin Skye. It sounds Russian or Polish. But our story begins with these two heroes, Shovel Knight and Shield Knight. Long ago, the lands were untamed and roamed by these legendary adventurers. And one of them held a shovel, while the other held a shield. Both of which I think would not be very offensive in battle. But one day, when they were on their adventures, they traveled to a place called the Tower of Fate, and they were subdued by the evil power of the cursed amulet, I think, and they were knocked out, and Shovel Knight was found outside the castle, while Shield Knight was sealed inside the castle. And Shovel Knight went through a phase of depression and went off, secluded himself as a farmer, I guess, shoveling dirt. And during the absence of these heroes, a group called the Order of No Quarter grew fame, I guess, and started becoming evil and doing evil things. And then Shovel Knight, he came back, because he realized, I could be a hero again. I need to save Shield Knight and defeat these evil Knights of the Order of No Quarter. Now, as you can already see, this is a platformer. And like I said, it was inspired by the 8-bit generation, so you don't really have many actions. You could jump around at a decent height. But I don't think, I guess you could call it a gimmick. The shovel of Shovel Knight. You could bounce around on enemies by jumping in the air and then holding down, and you could bounce on them and break blocks and well, if you're playing this on the Wii U gamepad, B is to jump and Y is to use the shovel. And I like to use the D-pad because, you know, 8-bit platformer, it sort of makes sense. And then you have the health bar, which as of now I only have 4 circles. But each of those circles counts as 2 hits. And then you have, to the left, your mana, the magic power that you have. Right now I have 30, but no item to use it with, sadly. And then throughout these stages, we're going to be collecting gold and items and jewelry. This is our currency throughout the adventure. And up on the top right, you can see a boss health bar, which is at 0 currently, because we're not at the boss yet. Now, part of the reason why I'm doing this game as a Let's Play is because, you know, I haven't done a Mega Man game in a long while. And as you can clearly see, Mega Man was one of the inspirations for this game. As you can see through the stage layout, I could see many parallels to the series. And the enemies they have to take out. And an upgrade for the shovel that we'll be getting later. Now, another inspiration for this game would be Castlevania. As you can see, in certain parts of the walls you can break and explode them. If you played the 8-bit Castlevania series, there would often be giant pieces of chicken inside of the wall, which you would, like, I think that'd be the only source of health in that game. You would think it would be the hearts, but sadly no, that'd be like the mana. I guess. But I don't really play much of Castlevania. As you can see there, that was the chicken right there. For some reason, someone just laid out pieces of chicken inside of these sand blocks. And then there was the pogo ability of the shovel, which another iconic weapon of the DuckTales series, which came out with back in the I think it was 80s, late 80s. They came out with DuckTales 1 and 2. But just recently they came out with a DuckTales Remastered, which I heard was loads of fun. I have not played any of the DuckTales series. I mean, I guess I could play the remastered one. But you know, a lot of people liked that game, and I guess this is the closest I've gotten to playing it so far. But the one thing that all those games had in common was the fantastic soundtracks that they had. I was just subconsciously bopping my head to this music right here of Shovel Knight. Like, there's so much detail put into this game, like the sprite work, the music, the enemy, the boss fights. It's just so good. The art is so good. But as this game was inspired by the NES generation, a lot of the colors that they use for the sprites here, I think they tried to like use for the enemies, but like I think some of these some of the shadings of colors were unattainable by the NES. This game isn't as accurate as it could be, just saying. But no, this game is it's truly great. I actually only recently got this game like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I've already beaten it. It's so great. I got it for mine for the Wii U, but I think you could also get it for 3DS and PC. I think there's both Windows, Mac, and Linux versions of the game. Whoever plays Linux. But I think they also just recently announced a PS3, PS4, and PS Vita versions of the game coming soon. Which I guess, I don't know, nullifies the whole exclusivity that Nintendo was promoting back when this game first came out. Because like that was like the whole thing that Nintendo was like this game was like the face of their indie section of, like, anytime they were talking about indie games, they just show Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight and something else. I forgot that secret back there. And this is Black Knight. And it's never actually explained what their relationship is together, but throughout, like, if you read the dialogue, it can be assumed that they've had a past together. I guess he'd be the Proto Man of the series if this were Mega Man 3. Because, like, I don't know, I guess they look like each other, they both hold shovels. They both know each other. And they both fight! Steal thy shovel, knight. Yes, everyone's a knight in this game. He's a pretty simple boss fight. He just runs around and tries to shovel you occasionally. Sometimes he'll jump into the air and try to do a death stab on you, like a downward shovel stab. And then he'll be throwing purple Kamehameha waves at you sometimes. But he has a very small health bar, and he's very easy to take out. Just, I don't know, pogo on him a bunch of times. I wouldn't suggest trying to do a shovel attack on him, because, I don't know, that's too short of a range for me. Personally, I don't know. But that is the, oh, for now, the end of Black Knight. He just ran away, so we'll be seeing more of him later. And this is the dream sequence of our adventure, where Shovel Knight will sleep at a campfire and then dream about Shovel Knight falling from space. Very, very strange dream there, Shovel Knight. And you'll be asked to catch her. Do I catch her? Yes, I catch her. Man. Don't let her fall. I mean, there's no, like, actual consequence to letting her fall, but, you know, why would you let her fall, you jerk? And, if you move the D-pad, like, left and right, you'll shake a bit, with Shovel Knight when he's, like, sleeping. The only way to get out of laying down is, just, you know, jumping out of it. And this is the world map, very nostalgic to Super Mario Bros. 3's world map, where you can move left, right, up and down, and all around. And this is the village of the world of Shovel Knight. Halt! No weapons! We have enough to worry about lately without everyone swinging their swords around. Oh, ha! That's no weapon. That's just a shovel. Just a shovel? A shovel that can destroy skeletons with swords and slimes and dragons and other knights wielding shovels. The shovel's amazing. It's the greatest. Better than a sword. You can't bounce around with a sword. Well, anyway, as you saw before, we were collecting music sheets. And this guy will take the music sheets that we have been collecting. And you can play music. The music that you hear throughout the game, if you want to listen to it within the village. And I play that one because it's my favorite. It's great, but you know, there's actually achievements in this game that you could try and manage to get if you want. And one of them is to collect all the music sheets. There's actually quite a few of them that seem impossible. Actually, there's an achievement labeled impossible. But if you talk to that goat, the gastronomer, he will give you a meal ticket if you buy it from him. And then you could take it to the chef at the top left, and he will create a meal for you to eat, which will give you one more circle on your health bar. One more little dot. And the lady on the top right, she raises your magic limiter. And these guys are in despair because the knights of the no quarter table, they've been being very not nice in their lands, their respective lands. And they want to go back to those lands, but they can't because they're evil knights that we must defeat. Very much like the Robot Masters in the Mega Man series. And this is Mona. She will have this game for us to play, where you can hit these beakers into the pads on the walls and ceilings. The white ones equal 1 point. The yellow ones equal 5 points, or 3, 5 or 3. One of the two. And then the orange ones on the ceilings that are moving, which equal 10 points. And you want to aim for those, obviously, because, you know, you want points. And the more points you get, the larger the prize that you will have to get from Mona. But Mona is not very easily impressed, so if you want to impress her, try to get a higher score, I guess. I mean, it's not like it actually matters if you impress Mona. Yawn. Color me impressed. Sarcasm at its best. Yes, there's just so much you can explore throughout this game. Especially this little area here. You could talk to this frog that likes to tell jokes. Psst, that King Knight, you give him an inch, he thinks he's a ruler. Hardy har har game. Hardy har har. And he tells a horse joke. Ugh. Very, very tasteless. But you know, it gives this game a bit of a charm, you know? I mean, like, someone has to be telling jokes in this time of despair and angst. But this guy wearing a trouple on his head, or trowpole, he gives you chests, or like grails that you could fill with magic goo, that each have their respective purposes. And then there's this salesman that you could buy things from. These are the items. What I just purchased was the fishing rod item, and well, we'll be seeing how that's used later. This old lady, the hedge farmer, doesn't believe that we're the real Shovel Knight, so we must shovel her pile of dirt to prove. Yeah, we are indeed a knight who holds a shovel. How many of those do you see strolling the streets? And then we have this little girl who wants us to hit her hoop. We don't really get anything from her for doing that. And that milkmaid was having a bit of trouble with those buckets of milk. So, what do? We use her as leverage to get on top of the roof. Chivalry at its best. Or should I say, shovelry at its best. I didn't make that joke. The game did. Believe me. See you guys in the next part.